Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. I feel like I never leave this seat. Anyway, we've already hit interviews and whatnot we've done this week, but we're bringing back the top 10, and we love this. And so recently, with the top 10, we've started bringing on other people to do it as well. And if you saw one of my co-host David's list, you'll realise why he doesn't do the top 10 lists anymore. But anyway, we've had people like professional dart players, TikTok sensations. And now we're returning, shall we say, after such a wonderful experience last time. They're TikTok, I don't know what you want to call them, sensations, artists. They're brilliant at what they do. If We Wrote the Theme, volumes 1 and 2 are out on Spotify. Make sure you listen to them. It is Will Scar and David Bartholomew. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, man, we're good. We're good, thank
Yeah,
you.
all good, buddy. Glad to be back.
Yes, it's not been that long, although at time of recording it hasn't been that long. I appreciate there's been a couple of weeks since we've done the first one together. But guys, look, top 10 wrestling video games. This is going to be an interesting one for me. I can't remember your ages, so I don't know if some of my lists maybe a bit before your time or growing up. But David, for you, like when you was playing wrestling computer games, I know you still do. What do you look for in the computer games?
Honestly, more than graphics or anything like that, I just want an experience that's fun. I want something that I can sit down, play, not get bored with, have all the different modes, just like create characters, stuff like that. Yeah, the main thing, as long as it's fun, I'll enjoy it. I'll play it for hours.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I mean, when it comes to it, like I go back to some of my games I'm going to say on my list. I mean, you look at the graphics now compared to like when I'm looking at some of these games, I'm thinking I'm going to say how great the graphics were, but a lot of the kids looking at me will be like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Yeah. No, yeah, I feel the same. Like I am an avid gamer, and I really like the old school games. Like, give me an N64, and I'm happy for days. Do you know what I mean? So, graphics to me, especially in WWE games, they're not really the be all and end all of things. Like
No.
for me, definitely, it's got to be the gameplay. There's got to be something that draws you in, like customer creations for me. That's a big thing for me. I could spend hours sitting there creating a character. Like I did my 2K24 one not too long ago. I was sat there for about 3 hours just creating it.
I was going to say your guys' songs will be on the game soon, wouldn't it? The way they're
Oh,
going
that
on.
would be a dream come true.
That would be incredible.
That would be interesting. Right, as everybody knows, the top 10, we do it in reverse order from 10 to 1. Now, I know you guys said that a lot of your lists were the same that you've done. So what we are going to do, we will do it as 5 and 5. So that would make sense. But I'm going to do it in. So what we'll do is I'll do my 10, and then I'll go for David for your 10, and then I'll do 9. Will you do 9? And then we'll do it in that order if that
Yeah,
makes
sounds good to me.
brilliant. Okay. So we'll start with my number 10. And they didn't make many of these games, unfortunately. I'm hoping now, with their popularity coming back, they'll make another one, which is TNA Impact, which was one of the first games, not one of the first games, but it was one of the first games in the TNA series. There wasn't many. And I just felt that like I needed to add this on because I thought the graphics were good. And you mentioned that the graphics don't always make the game, and the gameplay was a little bit clunky. But I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm kind of hoping now, David, that they're going to bring back a TNA video game in maybe 2026 or 2027.
Oh, I mean, the best thing would be if they put it in with the next 2K, I think. I think they should add it in on that, have a completely separate roster like they got for NXT when they started introducing that. Do it with TNA as well, because there's so many crossovers now. But
Yeah.
the TNA game's actually one I never played. Like I
Okay.
only got into that more recently.
Mm.
So I kind of missed all that. I've seen like some playthroughs and stuff like that, but yeah, I never actually got a chance to play it. But 100% bring them in on 2K. The next one would be the sickest, like Joe Hendry and stuff. We need that. We need that.
We all believe in Joe Hendry, right? That's the that's the thing. David, look, number 10 on your list. What have you got?
So this is like there'll be so many people that do not agree with this, but do you remember the game Battleground?
Yes, I do.
So during COVID, when me and my wife first were like together, we used to play that quite a lot. And I loved the whole there'd be in like the little toy packets and you had to
Yep.
purchase them and get them like that. That for me, stuff like that, collecting things, I absolutely love that. So Battleground for me has to go in there because I played that for hours, had so much fun with it. It was a very basic game, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like even the creating characters, it was very minimal, but me and my wife played it so much. And it's the main thing for me is the packet opening.
Yeah. It's a bit like on FIFA, if you play FIFA when you get the packs.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
son kills my wallet with the packs that he wants to buy, but he's the whole thing now about when you're opening a pack, like, oh my God, I got so and so, or
It's the
that's it.
best. It's a little bit of serotonin you get when you open them. Love it.
Yeah, exactly that. Right, we're going to move on to 9. Will, for your first one, but it's number 9 on the list, what have you picked?
I'm going to go with 2K24 for my 9. It was one I actually started playing fairly recently, and I really enjoyed like the whole 40 years of WrestleMania, doing like the
Yeah,
historic matches and stuff. I thought that was awesome. The bringing back of like the ambulance match, the special referee, things like that, I really enjoyed. And the gameplay itself, it flows really well. I really enjoyed 2K24, so I'd stick that at my number 9, I'd say.
yeah, that is a good one. It was on my. I had a little honourable mentions because we were talking. We were saying we've had so many games on there that we just couldn't put it into
Mhm.
into lists. So that was one that was on my honourable mention list. 2K24. I enjoyed it though. It was a
Yeah,
really
it's
good
really
one.
good. I still like sort of go back and forth between 2K25 and 2K24 now, just because I enjoy the story mode quite a bit.
Yeah, it is that. And funny enough, it is my number 9. It goes on to a little story, goes on to a storyline mode. But I just felt like the older console had the better storyline bit. I know
Hmm.
2K25's high. 2K25's higher at my list for the very reason that I did like a bit more of what they did. But
Hmm.
the number 9 on my list was Just Bring It on the
Oh,
PlayStation.
okay.
Loved the game. And again, it was one of those ones where the PlayStations was evolving at that point. We'd gone on from 1 to 2.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, the graphics were great back then, and as I
Yeah.
say, back then it's like you have to get a retro console now to play it. But they were great for us, and I just felt the storyline mode just seemed to have a purpose on it. It wasn't just you're so and so, and it's going to be this, and this. It's like it was coming together really nicely. So I had to have it on there on mine. I just
Hmm.
thought it was one for me that I had to add on. But number 8 on the list, David, over to you. What have you got?
So this one is honestly purely for the soundtrack because that's literally what developed my whole music taste, and that's SmackDown vs. Raw 2007.
I knew it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the gameplay was also amazing. Everything on it was amazing, but considering that I'm now doing music and all the kind of songs we're doing, literally all started from that game. I used to love the soundtrack. I'd play it just to listen to the songs, honestly.
That is actually a really good one. Again, it made my little honorable mention at the bottom. I actually like the game, but you're right. Those soundtracks do hit differently sometimes. I remember there was a FIFA one that had the Blur song. It was like Road to World Cup '98, and it had
Yeah.
I can't remember what the name of the song, but you know what it is.
It's song two.
Yeah,
That's
that's it.
it,
That's the one.
song two. Yeah, that's it. It'd be like my walk on if I was a dart player. Like you know what a dart player's theme song and the dart player's walk on now is normally as good as you are at darts. So it'd be like
That's
that would be
quality.
mine. That'd be because I know Luke Littler's one was off the back of him going to WrestleMania. He's got Flo Rida as his walk on, and it was because he was at the WrestleMania that Flo Rida, I think, played out The Rock. I think it was at Miami, WrestleMania 28. Funnily enough, was he that old? I can't remember. But it was it was that one that done his walk on. So that one's for me. But my 8 goes back to the PlayStation 1 back in back in as consoles were just starting to evolve, and it was Know Your Roles. It was the one before Just Bring It, and it was again. It just I think it was also these were just because of the time of the game was brought out. We had The Rock, Triple H, Austin, Rock under it was just one of those first games that sort of epitomized the Attitude Era a little bit. We was coming out of it though at that point, to be fair, but it was just for me purely for that aspect, and it was like you could. I think it was one of the first times where you could start hitting each other's finishers on each other. So you could hit the Rock could do the Tombstone, or the Undertaker could do the Stunner or something like that. Nowadays, you can have Brock Lesnar come out to Nikki Bella's move set. Nowadays, and you want that, but
Some of the entrances people create now with like the
they're just
divas and
wrong.
stuff, like, just the worst. It's the worst.
I think they had like Kane and Big Show come out too. Was it like the Iconics
Yeah, but
once?
they also did like Miz and Marseille and they got them kissing and stuff. I'm like, what? Who's sitting here doing this? What are you
I've
doing?
seen all that all over Instagram. It's nuts.
Yeah,
It
like
is.
Paul Heyman and stuff coming out and doing Nikki Bella's tour. Oh, that was the worst.
Yeah, I've seen that. I have seen that, and yeah, it gives me the heebie-jeebies on those ones. Certainly do. Right, move on to number 7. Will, what's on your list now?
Number 7 for me is WWE Day of Reckoning. So that one is a big nostalgic one for me. It's one of the main ones that sort of got me into the games at a younger age. My cousins used to bring it around, and that was one we always used to play. I loved the story mode was brilliant on it.
Yeah.
I liked how they sort of brought in the customizable characters then. The learning new moves and stuff, that was like a big thing for that time in the game.
Yeah.
And even just unlocking different gear, like that was back then in them sort of games, that was a big thing to us gamers. So yeah, I think that's a solid number 7 for me, I'd go.
My number 7 is exactly the same as yours.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, Dave Reckoning. GameCube was actually the console it was
That's
on.
it, yeah.
It was one of those incredible ones. It's just one of those ones I think goes under the radar a little bit because lots of people you'll talk. There's be plenty more on this list that people do talk about, but I think Day of Reckoning. Did they make a number 2 as well? I'm sure they did.
I think they did. I think they actually did. But as you say, with the GameCube, that was one of them consoles that not many people really had. Like I remember getting one for Christmas and thinking this was like the greatest thing ever. And I remember telling like a few friends and stuff, and they were like, "Why have you got that? Why have you not got an Xbox? You know, why have you not got a PS2? Blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, I'm a Nintendo boy at heart, so to have them games on Nintendo, it's like win-win for me."
Yeah, I agree. I was a Nintendo fan growing up as well. They did bring out a Day of Reckoning 2. They did actually just before the WrestleMania series on the GameCube. So
that's it. Yeah,
they did indeed. But Day of Reckoning, loved it. I thought it was a great game. 6, David. What do you got?
So my one, I'm quite nerdy when it comes to games, and I quite like simulation ones as well. So it's Fire Pro Wrestling World.
Oh, yes.
Because the simulation on that, honestly, you can watch it and you forget you're watching a game. Like it's such an entertaining thing to watch, and you can make all the different characters, download all the different characters. That for me just lets me sit there and be an absolute nerd for a bit, and I rate it. I don't think Will's ever played it or seen it, so I'll have to show him at some point. But I think he'd rate it as well.
I've seen some clips of it before, but that's one I've never actually played. So when you said that, I was like, okay, fair enough. Wasn't expecting that to come on the list.
No, I mean the graphics are very basic, but the simulation is sick. The simulation's so cool.
I love that. Funny enough, last year or maybe a year, 8 months ago, we were talking to someone that's making a wrestling video game. And I think he's quite close now. It's called Ultra Pro Wrestling.
Okay.
So keep an eye
I think
out.
I heard of that.
We had him on the show, and it's getting there. I think we're getting to that stage where it's nearly ready. I need to actually invite him back on, to be fair, because I said we'd get him nearer the end because they do a lot of creator wrestlers, which I know Will you like. So
I'm all about that. All about it.
So that's going to be interesting. But they are on X actually. I'll get their handle. It's UPW Video Game. So
Okay.
Video game. For those of you and for Will to check out, obviously.
Yes, I'll keep an eye on that.
Keep an eye on that one. It's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox, Switch, and PC.
Brilliant. Perfect.
There we go. My 6 is actually one of the first WWE 2K series that I liked, which was 2K15. I think it was one of the first 2K games they brought out. It was just one of those ones that was just great. I think AJ Styles may have made his WWE debut on that one, or it may have been 16. I think it was close because he debuted in sort of 2015 at the Royal Rumble that year. For me, that was just one of the best ones. I feel as if it went on a bit of a down drop after that for a few years.
Oh yeah.
It was very much. I always sort of epitomize it very much like FIFA. Nothing really changed. They just made a little bit here, added a match there. Obviously, the roster changes due to releases, call-ups, and newbies. But I just felt that it was just standard. Ever since then, it was exactly the same, just a few little tweaks.
I feel like a problem with the 2K games, even now, because of the amount of releases and new signings, every time the game is released, it's already out of date. And then they have to add. It's something that's so frustrating because to get like Penta, Stephanie, everyone on the new one, you've got to get the DLC.
Yeah.
So it's like as soon as you get it, you've got to wait ages before you can get all the wrestlers that are big at the time. So yeah, I mean, I feel like the more the games went on, the more glitches were coming in, the more bugs, and then especially around COVID time, it just completely like.
I think that like you're right in what you're saying there because nowadays with games, like the way they get released, they'll just push something out when it's not even really fully ready, sort of thing. They'll push it out, they'll keep doing updates, and then they'll chuck the DLCs in because they know people will buy them. And I'm not a fan of the whole DLC thing. Like, I miss when you used to put a game in and play it, not download, not update, all this. It's just a load of nonsense to me. So yeah, I agree with that.
You have to wait. You see, you don't want to like you play it, and actually you want to play next year's one. A, because the talent, the new talent that's on there,
Hmm.
and B, because how good last year was. The people that done that differently though, and again, it depends on your taste in game. Football Manager, they decided not to release a Football Manager.
I rate that. I really respect them doing that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
100%.
they weren't happy with it. They said if they released it, it wouldn't have been right. So they waited until Football Manager 26, which is coming out, which I'll be
The only
definitely.
thing they're gonna have an issue with is if they release it and it's absolute dog shit. Then it's gonna
Yeah, you're right. It needs to be great. The graphics look great. If that makes it, if anyone watches, I know you can sometimes do the only
yeah.
commentary bit, but I've seen the
Yeah.
graphics engine. But yeah, it needs to. They needs to.
But it's the same with Call of Duty, isn't it? They pump out games left, right, and center.
Yeah,
And what was it? Vanguard came out absolutely shit.
Terrible
Like
game. Absolutely
they
terrible.
destroyed, they tried to put zombies in it. They destroyed zombies, and I love zombies on Call of Duty. So when they did that, I was like, for fuck's sake! Like they, a lot of people now they're just pumping it out. And I know there was talks about the new GTA. They wanted to put it to like a subscription to
yeah.
own it and stuff like that. It's like just, if you're going to do it, make sure you're not releasing it full of bugs and we have to wait 6 months for it to get sorted.
Yeah, it's a nightmare, isn't it, gaming nowadays?
Could you imagine how? I mean, how big that game's going to be just to fucking download?
Oh,
So
it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Call of Duty, there was one that was like 300 gigabytes. I was like, for fuck's sake, I had to
Jeez.
uninstall everything on my console
Yeah.
just to put, yeah, it's
Just
the
to,
worst.
just get. I'll have to get a HD drive to put some of the games in because it's going to be ridiculous when that comes out. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm going to be buying it. That's for sure. Without a doubt. We're halfway now on the list. Five. Will, five. What is yours?
Right. This is a bit of a controversial one for me because I'm not sure how many people really class it as a game as such, but mine is WWE Top Slam.
That counts.
Now, yeah, we'll go with that.
Yep.
So I am massively into my collecting. I'm all about Pokemon cards, figures, blah, blah, blah. If I can collect it, I'll collect it. So with that, it really gives me exactly what I want. And I like how they keep that updated. You
Mm.
get a new pack sort of every time there's an event or someone new comes back or someone old comes back, their cards are on there within like days. So I really do enjoy. I'm addicted to it. I must say, I can't stop playing that.
We've been using that app so much. Honestly, like we'll constantly trade with each other. We'll get new cards. My wife
Hmm.
as well. It's honestly so good. And also you don't have to wait ages for packs as well. Like we got the Pokemon one as well. But you get like 2 packs a day.
That's not
And
enough
then
pack for us.
no, it's not enough packs. There's not enough serotonin in that. We need like the constant stuff. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. That's a fucking awesome app, that one. I rate it highly.
No, I do like that. My one, we're really going old school. We're going back to N64 days now. A lot
Oh
of my
yeah.
games on this list are N64. There's about three or four of them, and this one is WCW NWO World Tour. And
Oh, okay.
there is another one that's going to be higher up the list from the WCW. I just thought N64 made great wrestling games. There's made
Hmm.
so many really good ones. And it was at the time, obviously, this was at the Attitude Era. It was kind of like you were just grabbing a wrestling game when it come out because you wanted to have it. We used to, my good friend of mine used to run a video store on like a bit like a Blockbuster video, but he had his own little independent one. And I remember he was like, "Yeah, this is coming out," and he used to get them the day early, so it was like an extra day. I know nowadays you can get a 7 day thing if you get FIFA
Yeah.
early enough, but he was like, it was like you used to get them like £5 cheaper, and I used to be like, brilliant. I always remember finishing work and literally like running to his shop. It was like halfway between my house and work, so I was like, right, bomb, there I am. Or it might have even been school at that point. I may have had saving up my paper round. I can't quite remember how old I was back then, but it was one or two. I had to buy it myself, but it was like, I'll get it for you day early. And it was like, it was incredible to play this a day early than
Hmm.
anybody else. Well, not everybody else, but obviously in most cases. Um, and it was the WCW, so we had that great bit of differentiation because we had the Goldbergs, the Stings, the NWO, things that we couldn't ever envisage in having on the WWE game. You had on the WCW one, so that one was for me.
I feel like I missed out massively because I never had the Nintendo consoles or anything. Like my first console was a PS1.
Oh,
So I
okay,
feel like I missed out on some great wrestling games because like the first proper ones for me were like SmackDown, Just Bring It,
yeah,
things like that.
Hmm.
yeah.
So I mean, if I'd had one back then, I probably would have been straight on that.
Oh,
Yeah,
mate, get one now. You'll never
yeah,
regret it. An
get one.
N64 is one of the greatest consoles ever made.
Yep. and get GoldenEye on it as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
I have played that one. I have played that one.
yeah, that is a belter. Right, four now, James. David, sorry, over to you. Four.
So I have Shut Your Mouth.
Yeah.
Um, that one was mainly because I think that's when they introduced the brand split.
Yes.
It felt like with the story and everything, things mattered like a bit more on there. It was like the
Mhm.
first time doing it. I remember playing that game for ages, and that was one of the first ones I played for hours with my friends. And before I watched wrestling, I used to just go off the games. I used to buy the action figures just because I played the games. I hadn't actually seen it on TV because of it being a bit hard to watch in England.
Yeah.
So they were the games where I was like getting proper invested in it and everything. But yeah, I think the brand split for me, that made it like a big deal.
Was that the one with general manager mode on it? Can't remember.
Um, I can't remember if they, I think so. Was it?
All I remember is I can remember, I can't remember what game it was. It may have even been one of the ones I've still got on my list to have. And we used to do like we used to pull wrestlers out of a hat. So we used to have like, we literally had it as like main eventers, mid carders, and then like what we called enhancement. And we used to say, we used to have the roster, me and my friend, and we used to take it in turns, pick one out of each hat. And then like, that was our roster. And we had to create our own stuff. And it was just,
That's
I like
sick.
that. I think the first one I played GM mode on was, what was it? Was it SmackDown vs. Raw 2006? I think is the first one I played.
Yeah, that had
GM.
the general manager mode on
yeah.
2006.
So I had the Buried Alive match, didn't it? I think as
Hmm.
well.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. That makes
That
it
that
maybe.
was on my list, but it was on a different number. But yeah, the GM mode I used to rag the shit out of that. I used to play that all the time. And new game as well, love GM mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was brilliant. Four on my list again. We go back to N64, and it's No Mercy.
Oh, that's mine.
There you go. A great. I loved it. I thought it was a brilliant game. I really
Mhm.
enjoyed No Mercy. Again, N64 made a lot of good, really good wrestling games, and that one for me, that was definitely when I was at school, I believe, and it was a brilliant game. Loved it. I thought it was a really, really exciting one because obviously WWE again at that time WCW had their own games out as well, so I really
Mhm.
enjoyed that. So Will, was that your next one?
It was, yeah, I was going to say No Mercy. That was one of the first ones. Again, I remember playing like with my cousins, and I remember the championship mode on that. It was just
Yeah.
brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And for that time, playing a game that looked that way and what you could do on it was just like mind blowing for that day and age. But
Yeah.
I'll go for I'll go for SmackDown versus Raw 2006.
Okay. Brilliant.
That God, where do I begin to start with that one? Let's go with the soundtrack alone. That is like
Yeah.
one of the most amazing soundtracks to any game going. I loved the implement of the dripping blood. As a kid, seeing the blood dripping, I thought
Yeah.
that was like awesome. That was really, really cool. And again, the general manager mode in that was just, that was something you could sit and play for hours and hours and not even think of getting bored.
Yeah, that was really, really good. I remember the dripping blood bit because I think they did they not take it out for a couple of days when it
Yeah, they
went
took it out
towards it.
after, didn't they? Because people were complaining, of course.
I think on the AEW one, the Fight for Everyone, which is shocking, but they do have an option to turn it on or off, and I think they should just have that on all games so you can turn it
I
on.
think one of them, I can't remember which one it was, but I think they had an option to like turn the blood a different color so it
Oh,
didn't look
okay.
as. But I just can't think which one it was. But I remember seeing a clip of it and being like, "That's ridiculous."
Yeah, you can't have anything but red blood. So it'll go up to three then from my three. If that was your three, this is my 2K25 actually, the newest one. It was the first one in a while that I've actually been really invested in playing in. As I said, I think the 2K series really kind of after 2015 took them 10 years really for me to get back to a reason one I could really be invested in
Yeah,
playing in. And 2K, there was a lot of different the ambulance match come back as you mentioned, special referee. There was a
Match.
yeah, there's a lot more in terms of match types, and playing it with my son now is like a lot more. And that's what he likes all day. He doesn't really watch wrestling as much, but when we play, it's always a TLC. It's always a gimmick match, right? He
Yeah.
likes. I think he just loves destroying things. So it's just like
Oh,
that.
I think the best match on that is the Bloodline rules, where you
Yeah,
just get people coming.
yeah,
It's just chaos. I love that shit. Love it.
yeah, utter chaos. But David, you're free.
So my three, because
Oh, sort of.
2K25 for me would have been number two.
Sorry, we're at two. You're right. Sorry. Was it the
So
same one, right? You just going to
my
say?
one's 2K25
Okay.
just because I think the soundtrack's really good. It's a lot of songs that I listen to normally. I think the graphics are incredible. Gameplay is really fucking good. All the different weapons as well. Me and Will played it when he came out here for the first time, and we're using like prime bottles, yeeting them across the fucking ring. Um, yeah, there's so much on it as well. And like I love creating the wrestlers. We'd love for someone to make like a really sick version of us would be like the
Oh,
coolest
that'd be
thing.
great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
we really want to try and find someone that can do that for us because I've made a pretty poor attempt. But yeah, 2K25 for me, honestly, is like I think it shows they're now back in a place where it's actually decent. There are still issues with like belts glitching through jackets and hair going fucking
yeah.
mental. But when you're playing everything, it's honestly so fun. We were just beating the shit out of people and just having the best time.
It was, yeah, it really was fun, wasn't it? And we actually, well, we thought we were doing well. We had a great match, didn't we? And we both got pinned at the same time. It was embarrassing.
There's a guy called Big Time Gex, GEX. He does a lot of good calls on X. So there you go, Big Time
Okay.
Gex.
I have to hit him up.
Hit him up and see if he can do your ones. I'm sure he'll make it great. He's made some really good ones on there. So there's one. If I find another one, I've seen one quite a bit that he does a lot of the independents. Not him, but there's one on there that does a lot of the independent superstars, and they always get tagged in it and they always comment on it. So
Oh,
if I
that's
see one of those,
oh,
I'll
that'd be sick.
yeah, I'll let you know. But
The other, the other thing with 2K, the newest one, you can do men v women because it means me and my wife can now fight each other. It's so much better not having to just have to go and pick a female or she has to
yeah.
go pick a male. Better just getting to, we have an argument, we go on 2K.
Whose turn is it to do the dishes? Right, let's have a tables match. Whose turn it is? My two is another one from the N64. So he got as high as two. And I mentioned earlier on the WCW NWO World Tour. Well, my number two is WCW NWO Revenge. And I thought that was a brilliant game for the WCW series. I think that had blood on it. I'm pretty sure it did actually have blood on it. And I kind of mentioned it. But again, it was just at a time of when wrestling was just so good and you just had to buy the game anyway. It had some good bits in it. I used to remember, I'm pretty sure that was one where I was wrestling Kevin Nash and Scott Hall come out, and things like that was happening during the game as well, which made it really exciting. And I just loved it. And WCW, I don't think really until the PlayStation, I think that's when their game started going down. I think they brought Thunder out, which is probably as good as the program, which was really bad back in those days. But I think the first one they brought out on the PlayStation, I think was all right, but I think it was just Nitro, and they used to have the little video entrances where you used to select the wrestler, and Diamond Dallas Page would be like on there, and he would talk who you would be bringing out. But yeah, that was the one for me. NWO Revenge was absolutely fantastic. Will, we're at number one now. Tell
My
me.
number one, I think, will have to be 2007 SmackDown versus Raw. I think for me, just because at that time, again, soundtrack absolutely amazing. Like when I think about nostalgia in games, soundtrack is one of the main things for me. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, one of my favorite games is Ocarina of Time. If I hear that soundtrack, I want to play it. That's the sort of thing it
yeah,
does for me. And I liked the backstage brawling. I thought it was brilliant. Like me and my mates going backstage and just, doing
yeah.
whatever, using bins and chuck each other against cars and all sorts was brilliant. And the whole hidden weapons, like I think that for me takes that number one spot just because I was at an age where I could fully understand and like sort of enjoy the game as for what it is. So yeah, I'd go with that for my number one.
Interesting. Just out of interest, we're talking about Football Manager. Football Manager Mobile is coming to Netflix.
Oh,
I don't know how they're going
Fair
to do
enough.
that. But
Fair
anyway,
enough.
so David, what was your one out of interest? What was your number
Uh,
one?
my number one, and this is purely because like the wrestlers at that time, and this is when I was able to, we finally got Sky, so I could actually watch it every
Yeah.
time. This was me properly getting into it and absolutely loving the product. Was SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 when it featured ECW.
Oh,
So you
okay.
had
Yeah.
ooh,
CM
great
Punk,
shout.
and you had the tables that you could set on fire. Like I absolutely loved that whole thing where they brought ECW. I mean, if I was watching it now, I'd probably be like, ah. But at the time, I was finally getting to watch like the Wrestling Weekly. I was getting really into it with my dad. And that game, bringing all of ECW into it with all the
Yeah.
extra weapons, different things you could do, that for me is the most nostalgic game. Like anytime I think of that game, I just remember CM Punk with his long hair. Um, yeah, that I played so many hours of that, so many hours.
Great shout.
That was really, really good. My one is on the PlayStation 2, and
Ooh,
it's Here Comes the Pain.
great
That was
game.
that's a good one. That is a good
Mhm.
one.
Yeah, Brock was obviously on there. I've just felt that I had every bit of everything, and that's
Mhm.
something that sometimes what's missing. You can't have the perfect game because you'd never have to bring another one out, obviously. But
Of course, yeah.
if you had one that I would say is the perfect game, that would be as close to it as you could probably get in terms of wrestling. So that was my one. Boys, we've done the top 10, which is great, and I appreciate you coming on for that. But before we go, what are you guys up to now? I mean, Jesus, 10 million streams the last time I checked. What was going on?
Oh, I think there are easier questions of what isn't going on at the moment. It's just
Yeah,
madness at the moment, isn't it?
we've got so much coming up. Like we've got like I'm going to more shows to see my brother play in Asking Alexandria. Will's coming to one of them in LA. And then end of October, I fly back to England and we've got another independent show that's got Wrestle Talk that we did the theme for. We did a theme for him. He's general manager for that show and he's coming out to it. So we're gonna go there. I think there's also a club night with wrestling stuff. And then the following week, or the same week actually, we've got an actual show where we're playing in my brother's band. We're doing drums and bass.
Brilliant.
And then week after that, we start filming the second film that my brother's producing. So like that's just without all the content we're having to do at the moment. Like we've got so much planned. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't think if I'm missing anything, honestly. There's so much.
It always is the case, isn't it? We always forget about things and it'll get to the next day and we're like, oh God, yeah, we've got to do that now. Right, let's get that written and get that recorded. So it's nice to have it like this, as much as, it consumes your life. I think that's what we want with it. We want it to be, you know, part of our everyday life where we can get to a point of where, we're making money from it as a sense. Like we
Yeah.
want to make this our careers and really branch out as much as possible. So we're happy to put content out as much and as much as it's needed.
Don't think it'd be
Yeah.
long before you guys can earn out the way you're going. Yeah.
Well, we had the income coming in for doing independent wrestling themes,
Mm.
but we didn't want to completely oversaturate it, and also it was a bit hard working on these songs, trying to get them polished to how the wrestler would like them, while also trying to do daily videos because with TikTok it's punishing if you miss a day. Like
It
we were
is, yeah.
it's the first time in a while we've missed like 3 days of content. So
Mm.
we were kind of panicking like, oh shit, we're gonna get punished in the views and stuff like that. But I think that like we keep forgetting the first film that we've completed and is currently finishing up now isn't even out and it's going on a big streaming platform as well. And there are some scenes that are being pushed in an independent film thing for awards. So that's crazy. My stepkids are in it as well. Kate, my wife, is in it. Will's one of the main characters. I'm a main character. So it's yeah, there's a lot of crazy shit going on at the moment.
That's brilliant, though. And more power to you guys. Brilliant at what you guys do. And Will, you'll be coming to our show, which will probably be done by the time this airs. So
I will. I
you'll
can't
be
wait for it, mate. I keep saying to David how much I'm looking forward to it. I really am excited to get down there just to be with you guys, have a chat about everything, and see some great wrestling. So, yeah, I'm truly thankful for the opportunity, mate, and I can't wait to see you.
the Ignite team are looking forward to seeing you, that's for sure. It should hopefully be a special one for us with Ignite. It's our third one that we've put on together. We always have a sponsored match. Obviously our sponsored match at every show is our championship match, but
Hmm.
this is the show that we basically split down the middle cost
Cool.
wise. The bigger stars from Brit Wrestle are there, hence the spectacular twat. I think I said before, Charles Corrali will be there. Best in
That's the last time.
Best in Show, Gene Money will be there alongside Alexis Falcon as well. And Alexis and Charles Crowley actually make up the team of the cheeky little buggers. But they're not going to be. They're going to be wrestling singly. Alexis will
Okay.
be going for our championship. Charles will be facing the former champion. Some bad blood will be settled on that show. Hopefully there won't be. I mean, I don't want to disappoint, but hopefully there won't be blood because if it is, it's proper blood, not blading. But anyway, enough of that. Coming up for us, the one I will mention coming up for us is we're going to be talking to Marek Brave, who his partner you may know because his partner's Seth Rollins, and they put together a wrestling school, actually, the Black and the Brave Wrestling School out in Iowa. So I'll be talking to Marek about that and about how Seth is still very much involved in it. And actually, one of wrestlers that wrestle on our show, not the one you're going to, Will, but wrestling on our show, it actually went to that very academy as well, and was at the academy
Wicked.
at the time that Seth Rollins was actually there, which is interesting. But we're going to be talking about all of that stuff. About how Seth keeps involved it when he's obviously doing a lot of the stuff that he's doing now on
Mhm.
top of that. But I will announce just for that for now, there is other stuff on the horizon. You guys will be joining me on an interview soon. I'm just sorting out the person. I've got somebody in mind, but I want to get that all confirmed first and then whistle it by you guys and see if you'd like to join. To give you a hint, former Divas champion. So I'll leave you with that hint.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Divas champion.
Yeah.
There's a big difference now. Not women's, Divas champion.
Yeah.
So I'll leave you with that for now. Guys, where can they follow you and do your amazing stuff? Where can people follow you and check you?
I'll let Will take this one.
You can find us both on Instagram. We're under David Bartolome or Will Scar. We have a YouTube channel called it is at Will Scar. If you type that in, it says David and Will above it. It's just the at's old. We're on Twitter at Will and David Themes. We're on Facebook if anyone uses Facebook, and we've also recently started uploading on YouTube. We've got quite a lot of our old tracks on there, our old shorts, and we've actually just uploaded our previous podcast with Adam.
Yes, you have, which I've watched, and it's still good even on your channel. But no, it's great, guys. As always, thanks for coming on. Guys, follow us, HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, Hitting the Turnbuckle Podcast on all other social media outlets. Just need to thank AEW again for the opportunity at Forbidden Door to do everything that we've done. That was a very tiring day, but it was an incredible one to be a part of that press conference, to see Upgrade and everything else. And of course, thanks to TNA for them, our most recent TNA interview, which you can see in the playlist. It was quite a fun one. I actually really enjoyed the interview with Kazarian of TNA. That was very, very good. But yeah, just keep your eyes out. There's more to come. More to come from these guys. As they said, they are incredible at what they do. So go and watch that stuff. I watched it on the plane when I went to listen to it on the plane. I was posting it up there. Takeoff song, land off song. The whole lot was on my themes, but there was one in particular. The Broken Dreams one is the one I play so much. I think
thank you, man.
The Drew Brilliant. I must have listened to that about 5 or 6 times when I was in the air. I was only in the air for an hour going from Essex to Cornwall, but it was a brilliant song. Anyway, guys, just keep following them, follow us as well, and we'll be back with some more stuff on this channel. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.